Okay, well this is just a dry fit right now, and I'm sure liking what I'm seeing here. So my plate is going to lock down to the slotted T slots on the bottom, and I've got these posts coming up, and this is going to get welded at this point in here. You know, I'll just determine, I'll just be real precise and put some sticks in here, and I'll weld that bottom first, and and I'll make sure that I don't have this cocked and racked, but it's just sitting so nice and square already. So I think it's going to be real easy to get this thing squared. And so I've got my top piece, it's kind of sitting down. These are the ones that are going to sleeve up, so they're going to be able to be moved and locked, and then more adjustment on these. So I'll be able to have macro adjustment and then micro adjustment. And just with these guys, with just this up here like this, I can already tell that just that one with that post coming straight down is enough to make it rock solid. It's just, I'm really happy with the way this is going to work out. And okay, let me show you something that I didn't take into account that I need to. It's going to give me a couple more inches of clearance. You see the way that, this is, I got this roughly, I'm probably within 1/4 of an inch or so of the way this is really going to sit out. I could probably be, I can probably shift things a little bit one way or another, but I'm not that far off. Actually, I think it's going to probably, kind of shift this way a little bit. So, yeah, that looks about right. But anyway, regardless of that, see the pivot collar back here, the mechanism that allows the whole table to turn. This, I did not take that into account back here, so I'm kind of restricted. I'm losing about, 1.5 inches or 2 inches of space here. So what I need to do is I need to make a cutout in my plate. But I'm going to leave this flat portion here. I could accommodate this much right now. But I want to be able to draw these guys in tighter if I need to, if I really, to give me more capacity coming down. So I'm going to just make a cutout there in the back, and it's going to be easy enough. I'm just going to do it with the jigsaw. I really regret cutting this apart with the torch. I should have just knuckled down and just done it with the jigsaw, since I don't have a plasma cutter, because I did put a lot of distortion in this plate. I could have kept it a lot flatter, so I may add some flats to straighten things out. Okay, so what I'm thinking of right now is I'm thinking of having a handle here, a crank handle here on the bottom, with a threaded nut that is welded to this, and that can raise and lower this top section, the top section, under control. Otherwise, if I either take pins out or release bolts, the whole thing is just going to want to slide down and be a mess. I want to be able to take pins out or remove tension, and I just decided the bolts nuts welded onto this with 2 bolts, pinning this all in the same direction. That's the way to go. It's just going to be so much easier than trying to do a bunch of precision drilling, because that'll give me continuous adjustment that I can just lock her down wherever I want. Okay, so that's decided. So what I'm going to do is I kind of looked in my clamp setup, and I have C-clamps, and I rarely ever use C-clamps anymore, because once you go to Bessey Rapid Action clamps, it's hard to go back to, this is like going back to Fred Flintstone land. You can see this thing looks like it hadn't been used in years, and that's because it hadn't been used in years. But I think this is too much. I think this is way too much threaded rod, and so I've got one of these that's the same thread diameter, and I can sight down this and see that it's bent. I think this is going to work. And really be under control, because the last thing I want to do is release it and have this thing slam down and make a racket or disturb a setup that I've got going, or hurt me. And I don't want to be hurt by a drill press set up. So I have to cut that section out of the back. I'm going to mark that. I'm going to cut that out with the jigsaw. I'm going to make a couple discs. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to find one of my C-clamps that needs cutting apart, and I'm going to do that. And so then I'll be back and with some more components, and I'll be one step closer to starting to weld on this. But I'm just looking at this. I'm just, this side I can see it. Look at that side flexing versus this. So all these drill presses, man, they all have the same inherent flaw in them, where they're these big massive columns, but then everything is tiny and delicate past this point. So here you got a 350 pound drill press, and I've seen drill presses bigger than this with the same issue. But now this is going to be supported on all four corners with just enough tension posting down, so there's never going to be a reason that this isn't in full support. Well, this is the one I'm gonna cut apart. I can see that the screw, the Acme threaded rod is still really good and true, but you can see that that's just kind of lined up in a relaxed state, and you can just see that it's just been jacked with. These were some of the very first clamps I ever bought, so this clamp doesn't owe me a dime. And so if it can have another life as something else now that's going to be useful to me, then that's just money in my pocket right there. So I'm gonna cut this guy apart and take this off and take this off right here and start fabricating a threaded mechanism. Okay, so here's the Acme threaded rod pulled off of one of those. I went ahead and used the Columbian. I just thought that the Craftsman looked a little bit nicer, and so this is going to be just fine. But you can see here, I got this shape down, but you can see how wonky this is around here. So I also misunderstood how this went on. So this actually comes down here, and you can see that the threads are malformed down here. So it obviously went on from this end. It went in, and then they must have pressed this on in the process. But I don't want to mess with this, so I'm going to actually just use this down here to bring this down, and I'm going to just kind of jam it down onto the end so it can't spin, and then I'm going to take my Portaband, and I'm going to kind of clean up and make this a little bit more perpendicular. You can see how out around it is there. So I'm just going to kind of clean that up a little bit. And then I got two pieces of pipe. I went into my scrap pile, and I found this is a piece of Schedule 20 pipe, I'm sorry. See how thin the wall is? And so I was able to kind of make a nice mate for it, something where it could slip in there pretty easily. And but I want to get this a little bit. Actually, that looks like a really good idea to use this as a template. No, I don't even know if I have to do that. But anyway, so this one will go on first, and then this one will sleeve over it. This is just a piece of Schedule 41 1/4, and I'm just going to weld it. And then after I hold them in place, then I'm going to put two set screws in here that go on either side, that come down in here and grab onto this cast iron, just so this thing can't spin inside this collar. And then this collar is going to get welded to the plate, and that's going to form. And then I'll put a top on it too, and so that's going to be what's going to, this is going to be my nut, is what I'm saying. So this nut is going to be trapped inside these two sleeves. So I trimmed that up with the Portaband. That's a little bit better. That's close enough. Now this doesn't even matter that it's not really that centered, because I'm going to center once I get this whole unit welded and tapped in place. It's going to be centered in the hole. So then it's going to be centered. So it doesn't matter that that this is kind of bulbous around this side.